people walk in all the time with just absolute junk that they think is worth $1 million. And I get all these people who then do the same thing and they don't know what they're doing. And they go and buy things at wherever, Value Village or Resource Store or whatever, a garage sale, and they pay $30 for a box full of 90s basketball or football cards that are worth about $5 and get mad at me when I won't make the profit for them. And I'm like, look, I appreciate you making the attempt, but this is not the kind of stuff you should buying. Or they come in and want me to price everything for them so that they can go sell it on eBay themselves. I do offer appraisal services generally for insurance purposes. My fee is $100 an hour, and that is cheap for what I know and what I can provide comparative to other services. And I hate doing it. I try not to do it at all. If you're interested in selling me something, bring it to me. I'll make you an offer. And if it's a single something or other, I just had somebody contact me who was a beautiful Gretzky rookie. And 9 out of 10 times when people say, oh, I have a really nice one, it's a reprint or a fake or whatever else. This one isn't. Am I going to get anything out of this deal? Unless the people are nice, probably not. Want to flip me $100 later on. I think the card will probably grade well enough where it will sell between $6,000 and $8,000. So, you kind of have to look at everything. And unfortunately, you have to be the person in a lot of instances to tell people that the things that they have are either not worth as much as they thought, or they're counterfeit and they're not worth anything at all. And that kind of sucks. But
so, Wayne, I'm very confused because last I heard during pandemic times, didn't Wayne Gretzky rookie sell in the millions?
Yes, there are, I believe, 2 now PSA 10 Gretzky O-Pee-Chee rookies, one of which is definitely not a 10. If you look at it inside the holder, you can see there's a little tick of paper on the top of it. But anyway, don't get me on grading.
But this the one that you saw, what ballpark would you grade it at, and why is it only $6,000-$8,000?
I would say it's probably going to be a PSA 7, which at one point was selling north of that. But the issue is that people don't realize there are lots of Gretzky rookies out there, tons, right? I mean, it wasn't a short print. There was nothing special about the card. It was just a regular card in the set. And there's a lot of 1979-80 O-Pee-Chee available on the market. What the distinction for Gretzky rookies and most vintage cards of any kind is the condition of the card. And so most Gretzky rookies are off center, either top to bottom. They have ragged cuts because the O-Pee-Chee company at the time used guillotine blades or wires and terrible, and they don't generally hold that actually against. When you find a Gretzky with a nice cut, actually, a lot of times it's either been trimmed or it's a fake, right? But this one appears to have very, very minimal jagged edging. The centering is good. I think it probably would be a 7. Now, that card a year and a half ago might have sold for 10 to 15. But now people have realized that during the pandemic, when everybody went and pulled their cards back out and then the grading craze took off, 7s are not that hard to find, right? They're not that difficult. And so when the scarcity goes down, so does the value, right? It's like all the basketball cards that people were grading that they thought were going to be worth millions of dollars. And then it turns out, well, there's 35,000 of them have been sent in for grading and 15,000 of them are PSA 10s. That means they're not that hard to get and they go way down, right? So
if you know me well enough, as soon as I heard Wayne say that 7s are not that hard to find, you know what I'm thinking. So, but I can tell you there's a lot of people sitting out there with Wayne Gretzky rookies when they sold in the millions and are thinking, oh, wow, I'm sitting on $2 million here. Not going to happen.
That's exactly what happened. And in the aftermath of that sale, the immediate aftermath, I was flooded with people who then would come in and had a Gretzky that was basically stapled together after being ripped in half. Well, this has got to be worth $20,000, right? And I'm just like, dude, no. And that was a really uncomfortable month or two because every other day somebody would leave mad at me. People would say you're trying to rip me off, and I'm like, dude, I didn't even offer to buy the card. I'm just giving you information, and your card is not worth very much, unfortunately. Now, they're still worth quite a bit more than they were 3 years ago because there's that whole investor market opened up people who weren't in hockey before to buy hockey, right? But it's just a lot of those guys got their money, made their flip, and got out. And a lot of other guys that held on to the cards that should have sold the cards. And I always tell, I tell people, when you're at the what you think is close to the peak of the market, I have a buddy who had a Beckett 7, which he probably could have sold for $12,000 US after buying it for 1,500 10 years ago. And he goes, I don't know if I want to sell it or not. Dude, sell the card, even if it goes up to 15,000, right? Sell the card for 12,000 US, because in a year or two, it's going to be down to 5 or 6, and you could buy it back. You can buy the exact same grade of the card and have $5,000 in your pocket and hung on to it, right? So